Good afternoon. Welcome to Aggie Nation, powered by the Eagle, Aubrey Bloom, Robert Cessna. We're brought to you by MSC Opus. Check out all the great events coming to the season that dreams are made of at mscopus.org. Lots of great shows and events coming in. Check that out. Again, mscopus.org. You can give us a call, 693-1150, or you can text us, 229-1939. Like we do every Tuesday, we'll kind of give our thoughts, reactions from the A&M press conference. The biggest thing that came out of this cease was Kyle Allen admitting he was injured. Now, he said he had an AC sprain, which is in his throwing shoulder, and which is an actual injury. I mean, that's a thing that people get held out for. So there's a couple things here. One, he wasn't hurt so bad that he couldn't play. He couldn't practice. Yeah, he told the coaches he was fine. He said he wanted to play, and that in fact, I asked him this, and he said he would never take himself out of the game.
Correct.
That, to me, is the problem, because no player is ever going to admit that they're hurt, especially not a player who's got a 5-star All-American Gatorade National Player of the Year waiting behind him. So it's up to the coaches to sit him out, and they didn't for whatever reason. Again, we don't know the degree of the AC sprain, but to hear Kyle talk about it, I certainly got the impression, and here's what I told Sam, and Sam's going to join us here a little bit afterwards. If this was any other team, and if this was any other situation, and you had a starter who played 5 games and was pretty good, and then all of a sudden had a horrible game and was benched, and then didn't play at all for 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden came back and was the starter, you'd say they were hurt, right? I mean, that's what it would normally look like. And and my thing is, I don't think he was so hurt that he couldn't practice or play, but I think sitting out those couple weeks, I know he still practiced, but it's not the same. Didn't take live hits. They don't take hits in practice. The quarterbacks don't. That he came back and now he's healthy. He said he's 100% now. He looked fine on Saturday.
Well, I wouldn't go that far on any of those. I mean, first of all, backtracking, he could have thrown 2 interceptions if Vanderbilt guys can catch the ball. That being said, he had a good game. He threw the ball where it shouldn't be thrown.
Well, and I don't even know so much mean that
he threw it away.
He had his arm strength back.
He threw the ball where he needed to. He looked like the Kyle Allen during the 5-0 start. He threw the ball exactly the way he anticipated. Now, what he said was, and with the way he acted, the number one thing that I have is why he wasn't benched during the Ole Miss game. Because most of us thought the shoulder injury went back from the Mississippi State game when he was injured, when he admitted he was hit hard or whatever. Second half of the Mississippi State game, he didn't throw the ball well. A lot of people pointed to that as that hit he took in Mississippi State near the end of the first half. But the new information was he said, I got hurt at the Alabama game. So now, things make a little more sense because he was atrocious at Mississippi from the start. Now, going back to what the coaches say, we do everything on practice, whatever. So even though his shoulder was hurt in practice leading up to Ole Miss, he was good enough to beat out Kyler Murray and beat out Jake Hubeck. Now, there's also an asterisk because Kyler Murray wasn't going to play because he had been suspended, which we didn't know at that point. So we're sitting there watching Kyle Allen miss pass after pass, look absolutely brutal against Mississippi. Why don't you bench this guy? Where's Kyler Murray? And of course, everybody figures something's wrong with Kyler Murray because why he's coming in and Jake Hubeck comes in. And then fast forward to now. Now, you piece all this together is, I asked him, what did you do differently this week than the previous 2 weeks? Absolutely nothing. He said, I was the same this week as I was in practice the week I was before. Obviously, that's not true, but being a player, you say that. So he thought the practices for West Carolina, the practices for Auburn was the same as the practices for Vanderbilt. Now, you do have to read through the tea leaves. I mean, he had to be a lot better because he's throwing the ball like that the previous 3 weeks. How can he now be the starting quarterback?
Here's why I think the coaches have a loophole, because there's people on Twitter jumping on this and saying the coaches lied about Kyle Allen. They haven't, technically, because what they said was it's based on practice.
Correct.
And if Allen was a little bit banged up and they wanted to rest his arm, they could limit his reps in practice.
Correct.
Therefore, by limiting his reps in practice, it's still based on practice.
Be the third string quarterback real quick in practice, which we're not there.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
So you get 20 throws.
So it is based on practice, but that's what you've done in the practice. The thing to me, like I said, the only thing that this does for me is just verify what we all knew, and that's that Kyle Allen wasn't himself for a couple games.
Was hurt.
And that's not to excuse his performance. He was absolutely dreadful, and I think he could have thrown left-handed and done better against Ole Miss. But the thing, he was clearly not himself. And that's not to say that A&M would have won had he been. I think certainly he was himself against Arizona State, and he wasn't very good. He had a couple turnovers in that game, and he wasn't good until the fourth quarter. But it at least gives a little bit of a reason. It wasn't all mental. Some of it certainly was, but it wasn't just all in his head in those two games, which is why you go back to him. Now that he's healthy, you go back to him and see what he's got against Vanderbilt, and now see what he's got against LSU.
I'll throw one thing in there, being old school, and that's why we do radio, old school, new school. I always wonder how much people want to see how they can perform in pain, because Brett Favre probably had games where he threw for 80% and his arm was hanging. I mean, I'm not going to use that, but I'm not the coach. I'm not out there watching Cal Allen enough. How serious was it? I don't know. I don't know what a sprained MC, whatever it was.
The AC sprain.
AC sprain. Some people, maybe you never know you have it. And I'm not saying, and I want to make it clear, I don't know. I'm just throwing these things out there because, and I remarked last time he came in, I saw he'd kind of all gashes on his legs and arms and healed over. When you're a quarterback, you're going to take hits. You're going to have to play through pain, and I'm sure he's had a lot of pain. I don't know what. Everybody has different tolerance of pain. My wife says I have a horrible tolerance of pain. She doesn't want to be around me when I'm sick. Everybody's different. So you're right. Coaches, people are jumping on in social media and media. We're jumping on it. The problem always is when we're in this situation, we just don't know the whole story. It'd be nice if you could talk to a trainer. If I could talk to J.P. Bramwell of orthopedic and say, okay, what does this mean? Does this mean he was throwing at 96%? Was he throwing at 76%? Because that's a wide range. Because a lot of times, it doesn't happen in college, but if you get to know high schools, whatever, sometimes you get close to a coach and they'll tell you, hey, the orthopedic said, hey, he should be throwing it at 96%. I'm putting him out there. I mean, it's like he's just a wimp. And I'm not saying that because we don't know. That's what I'm putting out there is we know he was hurt. Okay, we know he didn't start for 3 games. Now he's back. He looks like the Cal Allen of old, the first 5 games.
Yeah.
Now you want to read the tea leaves, but and then I'm saying, while this is going on, I'm sure you are, the coaches put him out there. They let him come in. The coaches knew exactly what he was going to say because Cal Allen answers all the questions. So it's just an interesting dynamics that at no point during these last 3 weeks when he did start, Kevin Sumlin or Jake Spavital, hey, here's the deal. He was 85%, or he was 95%, or he was 75%, but he was our best option. They've never said that. You do have to ask the question whether you're a writer or whether you're a fan. Why didn't they mention that?
Here's my
I'm just saying you got to read into it.
Well, here's my answer to that is they wanted to at least make it seem, and they probably really did, but it's at least ostensibly, if not actually, to give Kyler Murray
that he won the job,
a chance. Yeah, that he won the job. And
I could live with that.
I will. I don't know that I believe that,
I'm
but I
think I could live with that.
Yeah, and I think that's why they did it, to give Kyler a chance. And one, you want Kyler to think he's won the job too. This might not just be cloak and dagger behind the scenes. This might be stuff they're trying to do for the players also. You want Kyler to think he's won that job. You don't want him thinking, well, and you don't want him thinking, all right, well, this is just my job until Kyle's healthy again. You want him to go out there, and if he does well,
through the motions.
And if he does well, then he really could earn the job. So that's part of this thing too, is Kyler Murray and what you do with him. Because now we hear, what did they say? They said last week that every week the starter is based on practice. Well, that's clearly not true because now they just said Kyle is starting this week.
But they did do it early because going into after Kyler
the Auburn
had
game,
a good game, he was named starter.
Right.
So we've had twice now in the last 4 weeks.
Sometimes it's open during the week.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's not open during the week.
Because that last week he said it's open every week, and I go, wait a minute, no, it wasn't open for the Auburn week.
And here's the weird thing: you asked this question, and I can't believe Jake Spavital actually answered it.
I know.
You asked who the backup was on Saturday, and he said Jake Hubenak.
I thought I might catch him off guard. And I did because he was answering all those questions, and you could see but you know why he answered that? Because Jake Hubenak did take the second team snaps in team practice, and he answered the question, and then you have to laugh and you go, well, why didn't they answer the question before about Allen being hurt?
Well, this is getting second level conspiracy theory here, but I thought Kyler was hurt on Saturday. Remember, I mentioned during the game that I was watching him on the sidelines and his helmet was nowhere to be found. Well, he was just walking along with the offense.
Based on practice.
Yeah, and so I didn't know if maybe he was going to play or not. And like you said, Jake Spavital said that had something happened to Allen, it was going to be Hubenak. So you don't go from 1 to 3 and then back to 1. Either that or Jake Hubenak must just be the greatest backup of all time.
It's great for talk radio because they keep.
Because who knows? Any conspiracy theory might be right on what they're doing over there.
Well, I'm just saying is, see how you can read the tea leaves a lot of ways. And like you and I talked, and I know you said Sam will be in. Sam said right away, he goes, when did Kevin Sumlin say I come in here every week and I tell the truth and whatever? And I've been through this with Bill Byrne, whatever. You got to be careful because we all do a great job of massaging the truth. When you say like, how do you like working with Aubrey? It's fine, or something. It's like, and it's something. It's like you don't. People do not lie, but we have a great way of stretching things to tell the truth.
Yeah, and I just thought it was interesting today.
It was.
That Hubenak, I don't understand why he even admitted that. What benefit does that serve anybody?
Well, Jake, because here's the deal. They probably told Jake Hubenak he was number 2 for that.
Well, I'm sure they did.
So the word's out there. You can't come back and have that come back to bite you in the butt.
I just would have said something how it would depend on the situation, and
No, I think see that was public knowledge on the team, so you got to go outside and say that.
Well, there you go. So. I guess we'll see who the backup is, maybe against LSU. All we know is that after 2 months, 2 open competitions, possibly an injury, a midseason roller coaster ride, we've got to game 12. Kyle Allen is the starter.
And Kyle Allen, it's never dull when he's around press conference day, is it? When he can answer questions.
No, and he's ready to go too. He doesn't shy away from anything.
He doesn't shy away from the questions.
All right, let us know. What do you want to talk about? 229-1939. We're going to go to break. When we come back, we'll have Lori Corbelli with us. Sam Connell join us later. We'll talk about A&M, LSU, Leonard Fournette, the college football rankings, a little bit of everything. And then the high school report. We're going to have a check-in from New York City, from all the way up in New York. Should be a fun time on the high school report here later on as well. So hit us up, 229-1939. We'll be back. It's Aggie Nation, powered by the Eagle here on Sports Radio 1150 and the Zone FM 102.7.